And welcome back to another essential edition of the Michael Decon program. First time listeners out there, thank you kindly for finding this. The show you are listening to now is not like the others. This is, in fact, a very different kind of show. I don't screen your calls. I don't censor you here. You can pretty much call me up and say you dislike me, dislike the show. All is fair game. I like those who like me, but hey, what can you do? Can't win them all. We're here for a fun time, not a long time. Now, by virtue, I'm so glad that you found us here tonight. I won't be joined by any guest. Tonight, I will be joined by my co-host, Mr. Mike Hideous. He has drawn assignment this evening, and we are both looking quite forward to hearing from all of you tonight. The last time you heard me, do keep in mind I was quite rambunctious and messing with the callers. You might get some of that here tonight, but I'll try my best to behave. Now, without further ado, let's bring in Mr. Mike Hideous. The one and only Mr. Mike Hideous, by the way. For those wondering, yes, the one and only. Let me unmute him here. And now I believe Mike has joined us. What's going on, Mike?
Good evening, Michael. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. I have a beer in my hand and I'm talking to you.
Right on.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, as always.
That's right. And Mike, we are taking phone calls this evening. It's wide open phones, or as I like to call, WAP. And we have a bona fide Italian right here.
WAP Guinea at your service.
We got the Guinea right here on the phone. You can call him at any time, but that number is 760-332-8965. Don't be scared. It's just me and Mike. The WAP.
And if you're not an Italian, you can't call me a WAP because then I'll be offended.
That's right.
And then I'll have to find a safe place.
Yes. We might have to find where you work and call your supervisor and take care of you. So, Mike,
Yeah.
are you excited for tonight?
I am. Truth be told, of course I love doing the show, but truth be told, I'm actually more excited for tomorrow.
That's what I'm talking about. We are one day away, Mike, from must-see
Yes.
TV. Two political
Absolutely.
titans. Yes, two political titans will meet in one arena, and only one man will come out alive, Mike.
So they say.
Can you imagine, by the way, Mike, if we actually had made two senior citizens fight each other in order to become like the president of the United States? You made two old guys fight.
This is one of the reasons I always wanted a strong, like Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of president, just to kick ass. I honestly, Michael, I have always felt that it should come down to that. Screw wars.
No
The
shit.
hell with wars. Let's let the politicians fight.
Just let them really
Stop.
go at it, huh?
Exactly. Stop killing everybody else and let the politicians fight. That's what I get.
That's true. I mean, I'm glad that we are doing this, Mike, and we're pretty much independent. We don't work for any big corporation like Spotify. It would be very hard to do a show like this on Spotify. We would get canceled right away.
There's no doubt in my mind. No, this is one of the few shows that are out there that gives a true voice opinion without being so delicate and sensitive to all the other needs and politically correct people out there.
Ironically, this show is on Spotify, but we're not exactly employees of the company, so
Not for long. No.
no. I mean, there was a time when they weren't putting the show out.
What do you mean? Like before you made a deal with them? I'm assuming.
No, there's no deal to make with those people. Well, not me. But
Well, how do you get the show on Spotify? You have to. Do they just put it on?
well, there's like some sort of distribution sort of program, and that gets spread
You'll have to
around.
forgive me, Michael.
No, it's okay.
I'm uneducated when it comes to.
That's a very complicated thing, but technically the show is on Spotify, but we're not employees.
That's good, right? I mean,
Well,
right?
sure. But if somehow we caught their attention, I'm sure this show would get pulled right away.
You think?
I think so, but yeah, Mike, going back to what you were saying about the presidents going back to doing some sort of hand-to-hand combat instead of a verbal debate. Now that would sell pay-per-views, that's for sure, and a potential heart attack by one of the contestants. You might see someone possibly dying out there, Mike, but later it would be ruled as a COVID case.
Yeah, that's the way things have been looking.
That's right. In any event, I'm glad we're back on again, and this is Monday night, the Monday night edition, and usually we're not on Monday nights, so this is kind of weird, Mike.
I don't find it weird.
You don't find it weird?
Yeah. I mean, maybe for you, but I'm good with it.
That's weird as hell for me. Mondays stink, by the way.
Hang in there, baby.
I'm hanging in there. I'm
little cat hanging.
Trying not to. Yeah, I'm trying not to cry. But I hate Mondays. I never liked them. But yes, for those that are wondering, yes, you can call in when you'd like. This is just another open discussion tonight, like a big, happy, dysfunctional family. Don't worry. Looking at the chat, by the way, Mike.
What are they saying?
I was getting distracted.
Anything good?
Never. No, I'm joking. But yes, Mike, before I ask you about your predictions on tomorrow's debate, things are going all right out there for you. You still have not given us an update yet on the Painted Rock Bandit. What's going on there? Have you caught up yet?
No, I'm sitting here with the contract right in front of my face, so I haven't read it yet. I just printed it out tonight, but I still can't. I can't go into it just yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, until the deal is solid, it's signed, and I know exactly what's happening. Right now, everything is in the primordial stages of being made. In a nutshell, I've been asked to sing for a band, and it would be a new band, and it would include myself and a few others who are well-noted musicians to create a project. And that's pretty much all I have for you right now. There are no demos yet. Everything is being worked out. But as I said, I'm looking at a contract in my hands right now, 24 pages, and so that goes to show you the seriousness of it, and just have to wait and see what happens, really.
I understand, but I think you misunderstood what I was asking you there.
Oh,
but
okay.
I did want to know about the rock band situation, no doubt.
What the hell were you talking about?
I was hoping for an update about the Painted Rock Bandit.
Oh. I thought you meant like rock and roll, man.
Well, I mean, I did want a rock update for sure. I was curious.
Said Stone.
Rock, Stone, the Rolling Stones.
Pebbles.
I didn't want to confuse you any further, Mike.
Oh, it's too late. I'm confused because I'm sitting here talking about a band, and you're talking about Painted Rocks. Now, there's no update. I haven't. In a nutshell, also with this story, my neighbor who lives down the road, he's the guy who is supposed to show me where this person who laid that rock on my property.
Right.
That where they live. So I have to wait to see this guy. I don't know him all that well. I only met him like once, and he told me he knows who the person is. So I have to sort of just kind of walk around the block or ride my bicycle, and just kind of bump into the guy, and then I'll find out. I'm in no hurry.
You're going to end up dating this woman. I already know it.
Yeah, right? We'll see.
I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. She's going to come out wearing some small shorts there for you, Mike.
Negligee.
She's going to be carrying a cat in her arms.
Or a baby.
Oh, God.
Hello.
Looking for a new daddy there.
Yeah, no, that ain't me.
Daddy Mike Hideous.
That would not work out well. I would be a terrible
You'd be a
father.
terrible father.
I think so. That's why I never had kids. Well, that and the fact that I can't have kids. So
You can't have kids, Mike.
yeah, I used to be a guy. Now I'm like a woman with messed up
Did you
parts.
have a skateboarding accident? Were you grinding a row and you smashed your nuts?
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah, so you could say that. Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
like that happened? Okay.
the plumbing ain't working.
Oh no, Mike.
Plumbing hasn't been working since I was about 23.
I never knew that.
Yeah, well, with all the cancer I had, it sort of destroyed my chances of ever having healthy sperm.
I see.
And that, yeah, I'll just kind of leave it at that.
That's all right. I was going to play the sad music, but you stopped talking.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't want any sad music to that.
I
It's
love the
not very-
sad music.
Yeah.
I'm going to start playing it for myself now. I like it so much. It's pretty nice. So in other words, Mike, you don't need a vasectomy.
I had one of those already.
You already had one prior.
Yeah,
Damn.
1999, February 1999. One of the weirdest experiences I ever had.
I'd love to hear that, but I don't think the audience would.
It's actually quite comical.
No shit. Actually, now I want to hear it. Go ahead.
All right, I'll make it short. I don't know I'll just explain it for those of you out there who don't know what the procedure is for a vasectomy. Basically, what they do is for a man, they cut on the side of his groin.
Oh my
They
God.
Cut open. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. They cut it open and they pull out the vesicular tube.
Oh my God.
They snip it and then they cauterize it. And basically, the vesicular tube is the tube that transfers sperm from the testicles to the prostate, I think. And so once they sever that and they cauterize it, you cannot deliver sperm to your partner. So I go for this vasectomy one day, and yeah, it's like, you know, in what do they call it, in the office kind of outpatient thing. And so they give you Novocaine in the area where they're going to do the incision. The incision's only about like maybe 3/4 of an inch wide. That's it. Very sharp scalpel. Zoop. Cut it open. You don't even feel it. The only thing
Wow.
you'd see is like smoke coming up from your
Oh my
parts.
God. So it's like it's like a Frankenstein sort of thing going on there, except it's except it's your cock.
Right. And what they do is once they cauterize that, you know, you see a little bit of smoke, and you're awake the whole time. So, all right.
Oh my God, and you're awake.
Oh yeah, it's not a big deal. And once you're lying on your back, you don't see anything. You got a nurse right by your side, you know, just making sure you're okay. The doctor's doing his
What kind of
thing
nurse did you
down-
get, Mike?
I couldn't tell. She was wearing scrubs.
Understood. Carry on.
All right, so so what they do is they inject you with Novocaine in the area where they're going to do the incision. 1, 2, 3 shots. They wait about 2 minutes or a minute or so, and then they cut you open. Now they do my left side. Everything's cool. I'm talking to the nurse. We're having a good time. Everybody's
Wow.
laughing. Yeah, I mean, we're laughing and
Telling jokes.
Telling jokes.
It's like an episode of Cheers going on.
Could have brought some beer and some weed, and we would have been having a good time. So now it comes time for him to do the right side. What did I say? Left side? Whatever. The other side. And he gives me the injections of the Novocaine. And again, we're talking. Everything's fine. And then he goes to cut. And apparently, the Novocaine hadn't taken effect.
Wow.
So when he sliced me open, I was fully and 100% aware of that cut.
And aroused.
And no, not
Okay,
even
good.
close. I screamed at the top of my lungs. Wow!
Oh no.
And the doctor's like, what? And I'm like, I feel that.
Dude.
And I'm grabbing the nurse's hand and I'm squeezing her hand and now I'm starting to hyperventilate. The pain
Holy
was
shit.
really crazy. So the doctor's like sticking the needle back. Here. He's like, give me all this Novocaine. But man, oh man. And ever since then, I have had as you could well imagine, a severe paranoia to anything sharp near my junk. And that, my friends, is the story of the Mike Hideous vasectomy.
That I'm left speechless
Yeah, you should have been there.
and with a stomach ache
Oh,
all
I
over.
know, right? I hate things that have to do with knives and operations near the groin.
I can't believe you went through it. Went through with it, Mike. What made you go through that procedure, if you don't mind me asking?
I was dating a girl who I was very much in love with. She was on this birth control called Depo-Vera, which makes girls insane. And then
Oh, really?
I told her, yeah. It's an injection. It lasts for, I believe, a month or something to that effect. And it would just make her really whacked out. And, like I was going to marry this girl in time. And I said, listen, rather than you being crazy, let me just get because again, like I said, we were going to get married. So I figured we were going to be long-term mates.
Right.
And I said, let me get the vasectomy. We don't want to have kids anyway. Which, at that point, really didn't even make a difference. But I didn't want to have any children that were sick or ill or deformed or anything because my sperm was all screwed up from all the cancer I had.
Right.
And
So
I shouldn't say not from the cancer, but from the chemicals,
from everything,
chemotherapy,
yeah,
radiation.
everything you
Right,
were pumped with.
Right, especially the radiation. That just destroys everything. So yeah, I said I'll get the vasectomy. You can get off Depo and not be crazy anymore. And then a year later, we broke up.
My God. All in
Yep.
the name of love.
Yep.
That's how it happens.
But whatever. What's done is done. I wish that I could have, like, if I had known, like, when I was back in my 20s,
Right.
like 21, if I had known, I would have tried to save sperm. But I didn't have the money for that. I was 21 years old.
You could
So
you could have just bought some condoms. What happened there?
it's not that what I'm trying to say is looking back now, like I think I would have liked the kid.
I think you would have been a pretty good father, Mike. I mean, you love animals so much. I think it would be sort of natural for you, right?
If I could leave it out in the yard,
Leave your kid out there in the yard on a leash,
on a leash, yeah,
on a harness
in
by the
in
tree.
a dog coop.
You just whip his ass if he cries,
Like,
like
"Here,
a
hideous-
Jackson.
come here, Hideous Junior. Come on, it's dinner time. I'll throw him down a bowl of slop.
Joe Jackson hideous out here. Joe Jackson, by the way, for those that don't know, that was the father of the Jacksons, and he would beat their ass with tree branches.
And by the way, when I was a boy and up till I was about 18, my neighbor across the street, his name was Joe Jackson.
Oh,
Hung himself.
really? And he hung himself?
Yep.
Wow. Do you know
In the garage.
why?
He lost his mind.
He just went crazy.
I kid you not, he began to lose his mind. Really nice guy, black guy. The Jackson family. When I was kids, Monique, Avery, Mrs. Jackson, and Mr. Jackson, and they were great people. I loved them. I used to hang out with their kids all the time, and he used to drive a truck, and I'll tell you, man, I watched him. He literally, like he turned, like you could see it in his face. He became this like when you looked in his eyes, he was like almost gone, and eventually he hung himself.
Damn.
Sad.
That is sad.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Nice guy, nice family.
I imagine that's what's going on with a lot of people out there during this time.
Yeah.
And it's going to get worse, Mike, I'm afraid to tell you.
And what do you mean? What's going to get worse?
Well, apparently there's already a lockdown in place in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
That's eventually going to make its way here to America.
We shall see.
I hope
We shall
not.
see.
It's not like I want that to happen.
No, of course not. Yeah, nobody does. I can tell you, I'm sick and tired of it. Every time I get out of a goddamn car, I forget my mask. Wherever I got to go, oh, you can't come in without a mask.
Yeah, you can't go in there.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen, but everyone else thinks that's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. I guess we shall find out one way or another.
Yep.
My fingers are crossed. I don't want it to happen.
Yep. Unfortunately, that's what we are seeing. All kinds of cases on the rise right now, for those that don't know. And just last week, I had interviewed, or just actually this Saturday, I should say, I interviewed Mr. James Perloff. And that was quite fun. We talked about his new book, which is titled COVID-19 and the Agendas to Come, Red Pilled. I actually like that title very much. Mike, actually, I should have had you there with us. You actually would have liked being on there with James.
How'd it go?
Very good. Very good. We just talked about COVID-19 at 9/11, your favorite topic. But we talked more about his book, though, and COVID-19. We were talking about the lockdowns and how accurate are the death numbers attributed to COVID-19, which is something even I question myself. I don't know I don't know if those numbers are accurate or not.
Well, according to the CDC, they said they were wrong by 94%.
See what I mean? Everyone has this strange conflicting information.
Well, remember what Fetzer said, as well as I think it was also Masters. They were saying themselves that when we brought up the subject about people dying,
right,
they themselves brought up the fact that people who were in hospitals who had died of a heart attack were being written down as having died of COVID,
right,
which was inaccurate.
And that's what we were. That's what we were sort of, or that's actually what James was talking about as well. And he's, yeah, that's right.
And he was absolutely right to
a little
talk
fishy,
about that.
right?
Well, I think it also had to do with the fact. I think it had to do with several situations. The hospitals making money on the deaths of COVID patients,
right?
As well as them not quite understanding. I mean, I'm just taking a shot at this, but not quite understanding what the cause of death may have been. But I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I don't pretend to know all these things when it comes to that.
We could only speculate. That's okay.
Can only speculate. But again, the CDC themselves have announced, and this was like, a month ago? They said that they made they were calculating incorrectly, and they were off by 94%.
That's a big number to be off by, too.
Yes, and this has been a big world pandemic that has screwed everybody up. And, nobody knew what the hell was going on. Let's be honest.
Of course not.
So,
I mean, we still don't know what's going on.
Made.
Yeah. And we still don't really know what's going on, Mike.
And this is true.
I haven't really told us shit.
Well, I think they're talking about releasing. In fact, I heard on the news today that these new rapid relief packages have been sent out. Something like, I don't know, something like 1 million or 2 were sent out. I did see that. So I gotta say, for the dummies out there who would refuse to take it simply because it was pushed by the president, and they think that anything that has to do with the president they won't do, they wouldn't take. Which brings you to the question, like, if you had an option, if you've got COVID and you're like in the beginning stages of it and this medication works, then why wouldn't you take it? What do you have to lose?
So you're taking the vaccine?
Well, I don't have it, so I don't have to, I don't have the virus. I don't have to take it. It's if you get it. Am I wrong?
Well, I think everyone is going to be required to get vaccinated, Mike.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
Like a flu shot? Like a yearly flu shot?
I believe so.
Oh. All right, because maybe I just misunderstood what they were saying. I was under the impression that these relief kits were, or these rapid, whatever they called them, rapid relief kits, were in the event that somebody gets it, and then you take it. But I'll tell you the truth, I'm not opposed to taking it if it works. I don't think there's going to be a microchip in it that they're going to. This is not Bill Gates. Plus, it was being manufactured by all the who was doing it? Johnson and Johnson, Pfizer, all the drug companies were doing it. So really, Trump has nothing to do with it.
By the way, that new test you're referring to takes up to 15 minutes, apparently. Not bad.
Right. That's what I heard. Yeah.
That's pretty good, actually.
Damn right.
Pretty quick.
I'm diggity dog.
But I don't know, man. I'm not quite sure if I want to take any vaccination at the moment. I mean, it's still pretty new. I will just say I'll let someone else take it first. Better you than me.
Right on. Yeah. Why not?
So I'll just sit back and wait. But I'm sure lots of people out there will be required because of their occupation. The first wave of people.
Yeah. And
when the vaccine releases, yeah.
I think that. I mean, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it works because I'm sick and tired of this goddamn virus. I really am. I am over it so badly.
It's pretty weak, I know. Very annoying.
So done. I'm done with the masks. I'm done with the social distancing. I'm so over it.
I don't mind the social distancing, though.
You don't mind it?
Not really, because I don't like being so close to people naturally.
That's cool, Michael. That's cool.
So I don't mind that.
That's your preference.
I'm glad people are like arms a little bit far away from me. I appreciate that. I don't like people breathing behind me or getting so goddamn close to me in line when I would be buying something at Walmart, of all places. That's annoying.
And I back you on that because I'm kind of the same way. Like
men and women, though, Mike.
My distance.
Sorry? I said men and women would do that to me. They'd get all close to me.
Yeah, some people don't have any. They have no problems. Like that's why I was never good at sports. Like, never good at showering with other guys in the shower or.
Well, I never did that, but good lord.
Well, football. That was for me. That was football camp freshman year. I was like,
oh, that's right. You guys had to shower at the time.
Yeah. I couldn't even hold a football in my hand. I was so small.
That was always a little odd to me too, by the way.
What's that? Showering with men?
Yeah, I don't really. That's not really my deal.
Not me either. I also don't like rolling around on the mat with sweaty guys or rubbing into them or crashing into them with helmets. It's just I'd rather run into a female that's sweaty.
Well, I'm with you there. But yeah, luckily for me, I was able to live pretty close to my high school.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to, shower there.
Yeah, I was just not the sportsman type. I was an artist. I was like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, you didn't give a shit about sports growing up.
No. Okay. The only reason I did sports was to try to impress my father. That's it.
By the way, we have a question here in the chat by CM5891 who says, Yo, Michael, I have a response to your question. Why do surgeons wear masks? If they don't work, it's because they work with open bloodstreams. Your immune system can protect you without open wounds.
Okay.
Amazing. Yes.
Thank you, caller. Appreciate that.
You mean, listener.
Listener? What'd I say? Oh, caller? I'm sorry.
You said caller.
Sorry.
I don't think this guy. Yeah, I don't think this guy's ever called in.
What I meant to say.
Yes, thank you for that, CM5891. We appreciate that, no doubt. And Subspace says, LOL, yeah, the social distancing is okay. And I agree. Not too bad. I like that.
That's more of a personal preference, don't you?
No, it is. It is. For sure.
And I'm totally cool with it. I can relate to that very much.
And DFS Donovan says, I'd take a Russian vaccine before Bill effing Gates.
Well, that I agree with too.
Donovan, yeah, I was talking about that Russian vaccine. The race to the vaccine is underway, and it seems like Russia once again has become the victor in the race. The Sputnik vaccine, as they labeled it now, Mike. I like that,
Right.
by the way, Sputnik. They did it again.
I got to tell you, if you're talking about names, I think the most whacked out name that we learned about a couple of months ago was
Jerry only.
the AI face recognition system that they have in where is it? Japan?
China. Yes.
China. And it's called Skynet.
Skynet, right.
And you remember what Skynet was from, right?
Terminator.
Terminator, thank you. And that is what comes to mind when I think about this.
Sure.
If I may, just for a moment,
Go
Michael,
ahead,
I got to
Mike.
say,
Do your thing.
the scientists are saying that AI and technology within itself is growing at such a fast pace that in the next, what did they say, 20 to 50 years, AI is going to like outthink humanity.
Most likely, yeah.
That is a scary concept.
It is. It is.
Because
And
if in the event it decides to say, well, humanity is just a plague on the earth and we'd be better off without it, zip.
and we're gone. That's kind of cool, though. That's pretty exciting.
I'll say.
I think so. But yeah, that's actually one of the things that we were sort of talking about. Me and James Perloff. We were talking about the COVID crisis being exploited to push us into this sort of Orwellian future of mass surveillance and digital IDs, the cashless society, the cashless transactions that you're talking about. This means the smart cities coming to America. And that's what's going on in China right now. The facial recognition that's pretty advanced, Mike, already.
I'm right.
It's pretty wild, Mike. Can you imagine just going to a store and paying with your face? That's wild. The future is here. But is that the future we want, though? That's the question.
I don't want it. Truth be told, I don't want it. I don't want that, and I don't want 5G.
There's some good in it, Mike, and there's some very bad things in it as well.
I think the bad overwhelms the good, in my personal opinion, but what do I know?
I'm with you on that. Not really for it. I'm not really for it. It's just too much. Where do we draw the line?
That was my point. Where's the
line? Yeah.
That's frightening.
It's a lot to consider. But that's the point we're at, actually, and it's insane. And Mike, I keep repeating this to you all the time, but I was telling people here, and you were there to witness it. Lots of people laughing, making fun of what I was saying about these mandatory vaccinations coming. Saying, oh, you're full of shit, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, I remember. I completely remember that. And
I got to bring it up every episode.
I'm kind of on your side with that. It shouldn't be mandatory, but at the same time, I guess, you know what, Michael? I don't even know. I know I'm going for a flu shot this week.
You're going to get the flu shot?
I'm getting the flu shot.
Be careful.
I didn't get it last year, and last year I got the flu.
Be careful with that.
Oh, I'll be careful. I mean, there's only so much careful one can do or one can apply when getting a vaccine.
Just make sure you leave your house wearing a hazmat suit, Mike.
Actually, I was going to put a tinfoil hat on my head.
Wear a condom.
And a condom on my whole body.
Yeah, there you go. And by the way, we do have one more question here from CM5891. Thanks, you're the best, Michael. Mike, you voting for Trump or Bernie? He's asking you, Mike.
Oh boy, I'll tell you, CM, what you call it?
CM5891.
5891.
He's a robot.
If you haven't heard this show and you think I'm voting for Bernie, then you haven't listened hard enough. Then you ain't black.
Then you ain't black if you're asking that. That's right.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious I'm not voting for Bernie, and Bernie's not even in. They kicked him out again.
Yeah, he's gone. I think he might have forgot. Yeah, Bernie's
Right?
gone. He's out there. What is Bernie Sanders doing right now, Mike? If you can take a shot, is he playing
He's probably
scramble?
I was going to say he's probably getting ready to take a vacation in Cuba or Russia.
That wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose. It's just I wouldn't glorify it so much over this country. I mean, don't get me wrong, I got nothing against Cuba or the Cuban people or Russia and the Russian people. But when it comes to perks and good things compared between the two countries, there's no contest.
Right. Right. And Donovan shoots back with Ron Paul is voting for Godzilla. True story.
Good for him. What a good American.
Right. And Mike, I'm sure you're quite aware by now, but Trump's tax returns, well, his taxes actually have been revealed.
Portions
of it. Yeah, portions of the tax return, thanks to the New York Times. And by the way, I was going to ask, is that even legal to do?
No. They were leaked.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that's legal, right? I don't know the legalities of it all, but I don't think that's legal, right?
It's not legal, number one. Number two, it was leaked. And number three, they're only putting out portions of the entire taxes. So, frankly,
pretty timely, though, right before the debate.
Of course. As a matter of fact, almost instantaneously, a commercial came out for Biden.
Really?
Where he's using the taxes and this whole tax thing against Trump in a candidate.
Well, you knew it was going to happen.
President.
Yeah.
But in almost instantaneously, Michael. How can you explain that?
Well, you knew he was going to use that for the debate. Of course, the taxes, I'm sure, were going to be a main focus, as well as the handling of the coronavirus. I'm sure these are key points for Biden to use during the debate. And again, he's gonna have to come out swinging for the fences on this one, Mike. He's gonna get steamrolled if he's too coy there, if he's too calm. He's got to go after Trump. And Trump, I mean, he's got it pretty easy, actually. It is Joe Biden after all.
Yeah.
This is just my breakdown. I mean, we're slightly going over this right now. And I'm glad I brought that up to you, Mike. This is the portion of the show that we were supposed to start with first.
And you know, if I may,
go ahead.
How come Biden's taxes weren't released? How come Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, how come none of these politicians have to release their taxes, but they want the president's?
Apparently, we have not seen Biden's yet, but out of all the other presidents in the past, Reagan, H.W. Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump has paid the least, apparently.
Be that as it may.
I don't know, when it comes to taxes and all that, I don't like that at all. I don't like paying taxes. I'm not with any of that shit. I think it's all a bit of a scam, really. Especially living in California, Mike. I have to pay all sorts of taxes out here.
You even have what they call, I don't quote me on this. I think they were trying to work this in, or it's already in, but they had what they called a 10-year a tax that if you moved out of California, you would, having been a resident of the state for X amount of time, you were still supposed to pay taxes for the next 10 years to California. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if it went through or if they were speculating to do that.
I did read something like that, but I didn't follow through with it, to be completely honest with all of you. But there is something of that nature. But then again, Donovan here is saying that tax story is 4 years old and completely false. That's what Donovan is saying.
What tax story? The one I just said?
I think so. I think that's what he's referring to as. I'm not sure if that's what he means, but I know there's something like the California wealth tax, and that's off the top of my head. I'm not sure if that's exactly the one we were referring to or not.
Well, from what I understand, I mean, they're having a lot of issues right now. First of all, the fact that the
that's
state's
wrong.
On fire.
That's a wrong tax, by the way. Forgive me. I just looked that up. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
I was just saying that the California's having a lot of problems right now. The first being the state is practically on fire. Uh, you know, the
Oh,
whole
that's just
state is.
global warming. Don't worry, Mike.
Oh, I'm not
It's
worried. Don't worry.
natural. Those are just,
Yeah,
it happens.
but all that, and then all the other things that are going on. I mean, you guys pay a shitload of
We pay a
tax out
lot
there.
of goddamn money out here. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't like it.
it's one of
Property tax. You
one.
have to pay for the goddamn car.
Mm-hmm.
It's
One of the
it's
reasons I
annoying.
left New Jersey was because of taxes and corrupt politicians and all that nasty
It's
stuff.
highway robbery living out here, no doubt.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't
And
like
it's
it.
too bad because I've been there. I've been to California a multitude of times, and it's a beautiful, beautiful state.
I love it here, but yes, the whole tax thing, I don't like that.
Mm.
I'm sure everyone out there listening doesn't like paying their taxes either.
Well, I mean, you gotta have taxes. It's just that some of them, there are just some of them that are kind of stupid.
I think a
I
lot of them
know.
are stupid.
Yep. What about the death tax for at least in New Jersey and New York? If you die, any money that you give as an inheritance to your children or whoever, your loved ones, they get taxed. You're dead, and they get taxed. You
And they
pay
get
tax all
taxed.
your life,
Wow.
and then you die, and you still got to pay tax. Yep, it's called the death tax.
How lovely. I didn't know about that.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is. That's
So
criminal.
anybody living in New York and or New Jersey, don't die there.
Yeah, don't yeah. Good advice. Don't die out there. Very good advice.
Hmm.
But yeah, don't move out here. If anyone's thinking about it, move to Arizona or Nevada if you want.
Nice states too.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind living in like Henderson. That's a little bit further down from Las Vegas.
I never heard of it.
It's beautiful out there.
It's all beautiful out there.
Wide
I
open.
love the middle states. I really do. I love them.
No death tax in California. That's what Sarah said, and that's right.
Good, good, good.
Yeah, we don't have that here.
By the way, I wrote this down because I found it to be very important. I heard on the news today. Do you know there's this guy who does this infiltrating reporting. He infiltrates groups like BLM, Antifa, and he just recently um, did something on voting fraud that took place in Michigan, uh, associated with Omar. And apparently, hundreds, if not thousands, of voter ballots were stolen from elderly and or young people, in which I believe they were paid for, and then they disregard them or throw them out or something. So voting fraud has already begun, and this is the reason why voting by mail it should be outlawed.
There's some voter fraud thing I saw in Minnesota.
Did I what I say? Michigan?
Oh, I don't know where you said. I didn't hear
I
that
think you're
part.
right. I
But
think you're right.
I did see something like that. So yeah, you're right. I did see some weird shit about widespread voter fraud that's been going on.
This is why. Look, as groovy as computers are,
Right.
this is why we must be able to vote in person. I do not trust the internet as far as I could throw it. I think that this is a terrible idea, and I don't know. I just think that this is going to create a lot of problems because they're saying that they're going to be able to get let's just say hypothetically, Trump wins, okay?
Trump wins.
Trump wins hypothetically.
Hmm.
And the Democrats continue to keep taking in mail-in votes or ballots for up to, I don't know, let's say 2 weeks to a month. How do we know if that's if they're done properly?
By the
How do
way,
we know
this let me stop you right there and hold that thought, Mike. I think you were referring to earlier to Project Veritas, correct?
Yes, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I was I was thinking about it right now and I thought, wait a minute. You're referring to Project Veritas and that story they were
Yes,
doing about voter fraud, and they were looking to
that's right.
the rep Ilhan Omar.
Correct.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I just
No,
needed
no,
to
no. You
throw that
you
out there.
you explained it better than I did. I was just jotting down what I heard, and I didn't jot it down
It's
right.
okay.
But no, you explained it better. So yeah, I mean, this is what I'm afraid of. And
And
Michael,
you're right. It's a valid point.
I, I've spoken to a few people who I know in confidence, and I've said I'm 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 literally frightened with this coming
You don't like,
election, and
yeah, you don't like what's going on right now with the
I
way
don't
the
like what's
side,
going on.
yeah, the political parties and their direction they're headed towards is what has you perturbed, correct?
Yeah, and I
Okay.
think it should have a lot of people perturbed because I truly believe that this whole deal with mail-in ballots is a scam. People are already voting now. There's something like already 1 million votes have already come in, if
Really?
not more.
Wow.
Yeah,
Now that I
that's
didn't
all
know.
from people mailing in their votes.
Hmm.
Do you agree with that?
Yes and no.
To a point, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
to a
there should be a
point.
limit.
Sure. Sure. So basically what you're saying is you see these two political parties right now, one as, how do you see the Republican Party right now, by the way? Let me just put it that way. Because I've never really asked you in your opinion. How do you view the Republican Party as it is today, Mike?
Well, Michael, very similar to the way you are, I am. Let me try re-explain that. I'm an independent. I am neither Republican nor Democrat. As most of you know, I used to be Democrat,
Right.
but I'm not anymore. And as far as what I think about the Republican Party, truth be told, this would only be the second time I'm voting Republican for. No, wait, that's a lie. Um, yeah, that's a lie. I actually voted when I was 18, back in the day. So I had voted for Reagan when I was young. So he was a Republican. And for the first time, I voted Republican when I voted in 2016. And I did so simply because I believed that the candidate, Donald J. Trump, was offering better solutions to the country for the country than the Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton, who, as we all know, is a criminal and should be locked up.
I thought you were going to call her Crooked Hillary right now.
Yeah,
Or
well, that
Crooked
too.
Clinton. Oh, I'm sorry.
Good, close enough. But I think I look. The only reason I'm voting Republican is for Donald Trump. I really believe he's the guy only because he was not a politician.
And how do you view the Democrats right now as of today?
Well, a lot of people who are Democrats are going to hate me for saying this,
That's
but
okay.
I think that they are in a desperate situation. I think that they're playing dirty. As a matter of fact, they just played dirty again with this whole election of a new congressperson. Was it congressperson or senator? The woman that had to replace Ruth Bader Gingrich.
RBG, right.
Right. So she died, and it is the responsibility of the president, and has been in the past by, I think they said, 20 some presidents or something, that had to elect a new person to fill the place of someone who died. And that's exactly what Donald Trump was going to do, and he was being criticized as it being a political stunt, and that's not the case 100%. Just like everything that's been going on with the accusations against Trump, so on and so forth,
Right.
I think he's doing a good job. I really do. But I saw something today where they were interviewing people on the street, and they interviewed this woman, and they asked her, "Who do you want to, who you think you're going to vote for?" And she said, "Well, I'm tired of how Trump reacts to how like always bad mouthing people." And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, What about all the people that have called him the horrific, horrible names that they call him? Doesn't this guy have a right to stand up for himself? They've attacked his family. They attacked him every single second of the day. The media is against him. The politicians are against. How can this guy not stand up for himself for the last 4 years? So I think there's a lot of people who are misinformed as to what's been going on for the last 4 years.
By the way, Donovan says new video just released on Project Veritas. Story 7 minutes ago. It shows paying cash for ballots.
Yes, I heard they were going to release that. I didn't know they were going to do it tonight.
Amazing.
That's cool. So there you go, proof right there. Because even the news channels were saying they never talked to that guy. I forget his name, the Veritas guy. But they will not speak with him.
James O'Keefe, right?
Is that it?
I think that's his name. I think that's who we're referring to here. I believe that's him.
Yes, I think you're right. And he has even said the news channels will not work with him. They don't want to report his findings, and they claim that his stuff is fixed. And I sincerely doubt it. I just do.
Interesting. And all of this has been quite interesting, Mike. The last, 6 years have been pretty entertaining, I'd say.
You think so?
I believe so.
Is an understatement.
For better or for worse. For better or for worse.
Is that a question or?
It was rhetorical.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know if you were asking me.
That's okay. Yes, thank you, Patrick, for that. He says, Michael, you ever hear of Dan Hopsicker? He is an investigative journalist who found some very strange things, CIA connections involving 9/11 hijackers. If you got him on the show, you might finally sway Mr. Hideous. That's from Patrick. It's interesting, though, because you mentioned Dan Hopsicker, who I was in communication with, actually, for a few days. We had some back and forth, but I'm not quite sure what happened. He was telling me that he was going to release a book. I don't know if he ever got a chance to release that book, but our communication is now gone, Patrick. But yes, I did reach out to Dan Hopsicker, but I don't know where I was going to say the F word. I don't know where the hell he's at, though. I caught myself there, Mike. I got to be a little bit more, a little nicer, a little friendlier.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to be polite sometimes. Sometimes, exactly. Except when the callers call in. That's when I could mess with them a little bit here. That's always fun, though, right?
Oh, yeah, I enjoy listening.
I love that.
There's no doubt about that.
So, Mike, how do you feel about ultra-religious folks out there that are, heavily influenced in politics, and they say things like the Democrats are Satan and the Republicans, they're like angels, they're the chosen people of Christ? What do you feel when you hear things like that, Mike? What's going inside your head when you hear those sort of folks and that sort of banter?
Well, all right. The only way I can answer this is by reflecting my circumstances. My beliefs are very extreme when it comes to religion, and anybody that hears what I believe in, especially if they're Catholic or Christian, they immediately stereotype me and think, well, this guy, slaughters pigs and eats babies, but that's, couldn't be further from the truth. So what I'm getting at is I think that if a person believes in a religion, that's perfectly fine, but there needs to be a separation between religion and politics. So if you are a Catholic or a Jew or a Muslim or a Shinto, you've got to be able to separate your belief so that you can give opinions and answers politically in a unbiased manner.
Right.
Does that make sense? That makes
Yeah.
sense.
I'm following along with you here. Yeah.
So that's my point. You have to be able to separate your beliefs so that you don't you don't become political or religious in your political beliefs. That's exactly what the Muslims do with their both political and religious beliefs. As we mosques provide not only religious uh, uh, opportunities for people who want to pray, but they also stand for their not their White House, but their political. I don't even know what the word would be, but mosques are essentially two different things. They're both religious and political. They make political decisions there, and so on and so forth. Especially with the hardcore Islamic religion. Other places like, say, I believe Turkey, they have like their own like government going on, separate from the mosques and their religion. But a lot of the really hardcore religious Muslims or Muslim countries, they don't separate it. It's their Quran is like our Constitution.
We have people like that here, though. We have some people that are connected directly to the White House like that, like Paula White.
Paula White. I know the name. I just can't picture who she is.
This woman.
I go, God rules. When I walk on White House grounds, God walks on White House grounds.
Oh, shit.
I have every right and authority to declare the White House as holy ground because I was standing there, and where I stand is holy.
See, people like that is exactly what I'm talking about. People that take advantage.
That's right.
Of people that are, yes, people that you say that, hey, I'm a Christian, X, Y, and Z. Now you have to vote for me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
The same way I don't believe that Trump was. I mean, Trump never went to church before any of this, and that doesn't bother me one way or another.
Me neither. I mean, again, I'm an open-minded, agnostic atheist. So why would I give a shit if you go to church or not?
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't agree with it. I think that
I don't agree with it either.
Wrong.
I just hate seeing people like that to take advantage of others. Like Adam Copeland. Kenneth Copeland, I mean. Adam Copeland, that's a wrestler. Kenneth Copeland is that's the greasy bastard who basically he has, in my mind, betrayed his own flock.
How?
Well, he takes advantage of them. He makes millions of dollars off of these people that.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. I'm sure God, Jesus Christ, Allah, whatever you want to call them, I'm sure they really want you to own multiple houses, multiple cars, and I'm sure he wants all of those things for you. Of course. No doubt.
Yeah. I disagree with that 100%.
Yeah. Kenneth Copeland. Also curing coronavirus.
He's what?
He was curing COVID-19, remember?
He was?
Yeah.
Put your hand on that television.
It's this guy, remember?
Guy. Oh,
thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, that's Kenneth Copeland.
I'm sorry. I'm so bad with names. My apologies.
It's the Italian in you, Mike.
Your healing.
It's because you got to see the face. That's what it is.
It is. Man. It is. I'm just bad with names.
That's okay. So yes, Mike, these are the individuals that I am talking about. Those who take advantage of their own flock.
Are you getting to the fact that about this woman that they're trying to elect for what is it, the Senate?
I have no idea who this woman truly is or what she's about.
Okay, well, what I'm getting at is I hear how the Democrats are getting all itchy about the fact that this woman is I believe, a Catholic. But so is Nancy Pelosi, and so is Joe Biden. And they're not saying shit about them.
Ooh, they're part of the fallen religion, huh?
Well,
The Catholics.
yeah, but at this, and Pelosi has even said that, you know, she believes in God, and that's okay. But when you bring it into your politics and your ruling as a politician, that's wrong.
Yeah, I can't talk about that, of course, Mike. You know the rules.
I suppose, but
Yeah.
it's just not right. And if this woman can do a good job, it shouldn't make a difference what her religion is, because for the most part, a lot of people believe in a God and a higher, you know, being. An
That's
entity.
right.
And that's fine. I got nothing against that. If that's what you choose to do, fine. If that makes you feel better, fine. My pop is a devoted Christian. He used to go to church every day, and I never held it against him. And he never tried to tell me, you know, you should go to church sometime and pray. And he never tried to do that.
Well, Mike,
to me.
he gave up on that.
Yeah,
He gave up on that idea, Mike.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is he never forced me, but his beliefs are his beliefs, and that's fine.
I hear
and
you.
I can respect that.
Sure, and I'm with you on that. Again, it just goes back to those who take advantage.
That's right.
Those who go to the well one too many times, like George Pell, the Cardinal Pell, with his connection to child abuse. He's the ex-Vatican.
Yeah, that's a whole other
Ex-Vatican treasurer, by the way. Cardinal Pell there. Cardinal George Pell. I mean, that's a sick man, in my opinion. And the guy was defending the pedophiles for a long time, too.
Is that what he was doing?
That's what he was doing. By the way, a jury convicted him, Cardinal Pell, back in 2018 of charges relating to the 1990s case that was going on there.
Is he serving a sentence?
Believe he had to go back.
Well,
but yeah, the guy connected to child abuse for many, many years.
I wonder if he's got a cushy on the inside, or if guys are beating him up for it.
I don't know, but shit like that just really just makes me think less of all of these things, you know?
Hey, Michael,
not the individuals.
Not to get off the subject.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not to get off the subject, but
Take
I gotta
me
ask
off.
you a question.
Get me out of here. Go ahead.
Did you? I saw this crazy thing online about 3 weeks ago about this whole Hollywood pedophile thing. Do you know anything about that? Have you read anything about that?
Well, that depends. All sorts of things that go down in California and all sorts of places, military places as well, where people were, you know,
pedophiling. Sure.
There's things of that nature. There's daycares where have been reported children being molested. You know, things of that nature has been going on for a long time.
And I don't doubt it. It happens at every place in the world. What I'm getting at is I read this thing. I saw this video.
What'd you read?
Sorry?
I said, what'd you see? I mean.
Well, it had to do with Hollywood being this like elite cult where many of the Hollywood people are they get basically human trafficked slaves, sex slaves, and in the end, if they are not needed anymore, they're basically eliminated because these kids have no birth certificates. They're basically off the grid. And again, this is all what I heard. I'm not saying any of it is true. It's just
well, do you think it's a coincidence that Harvey Weinstein was such good friends with Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, that was part of this whole story. Another thing was this guy, another actor who ended up well, they say he killed himself by He jumped off a bridge.
Questionable, yes.
Questionable, and was hit by a truck and thus destroyed. And
Are you
this
talking
actor,
to me about Isaac Cappy?
Yes.
Okay,
The
go
guy with
ahead.
the curly hair, the Jewish
Right.
guy with the curly hair, right?
The Jew, yes.
Yes.
Oy vey.
And he was making claim that Tom Hanks is a pedophile. That's what he said. And then shortly later, he ended up dead.
Yeah, many months back, I had a guest on here talking about Tom Hanks and the allegations of him being involved in this sort of activity. And at the time, you were like, what on earth is going on here?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And now it's come back full circle. I'm loving this.
Yeah, well, I happened, I was, I don't know, screwing around on YouTube.
Oh, shit. Mike is getting red pilled. Here we go. Now you're going to
No,
talk to us about Corey Feldman now. And as soon as I said that, I see Sarah Dillon in the chat room saying Corey Feldman made a documentary about Hollywood and child actors being sexually abused.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's been going on forever, though.
But he also denied the fact that nothing happened with Michael Jackson, and
that's right.
We all know Michael Jackson was a pedophile.
Well,
too.
Maybe it didn't happen to him because
True.
Michael Jackson was probably smart. He thought, well, this guy probably knows a few people, so I'm not gonna do the bowling ball technique on him. That was really disgusting. I can't believe I said that. And I said it so naturally too.
Yeah, it just came out.
That was not good.
Right
that was not good. Yeah, that was too good. That was too natural, right? Good God. Jesus Christ.
Wow. What the hell are you drinking?
I don't know. I need to just shut the hell up. I don't know. I'm all over the place tonight. I know. I'm just. I don't know what happened to me tonight, Mike.
Oh, that's all right.
I lost control.
But anywho, back to the subject. Isaac, what was his name? Isaac what?
Isaac Cappy.
Isaac Cappy. Yeah.
Right.
Poor guy. Ended up splattered on a highway.
I don't know. I don't know if it was a suicide or he was murdered intentionally. I don't know.
Right. Here's the interesting thing about it. Prior to his death, which was counted as a suicide, he was online saying, I don't feel suicidal in the least bit.
Right.
I don't feel like,
So you did see the last couple videos of Isaac Cappy before he died. Yeah, those were very odd videos before he checked out.
Hell yeah.
I don't disagree in the slightest. I did see that. And I was even wondering, what the F word is that?
Exactly.
Right.
So, anyway, he was part of this whole, 20-some minute video that I watched.
Right.
And the guy is saying, the narrator is saying how he's getting death threats for let's face it, it's a very serious accusation when you call someone a pedophile.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah,
those are fighting words.
Exactly. And this guy just seemed to think that Hollywood was this cult of pedophilia.
Yeah, littered with pedo asses, yeah.
Yes. So
I would have to agree to a certain extent, Mike. Look at all those big wigs out there, I mean, even in bands, Mike. I mean, if it was happening in a corporate world and in the Hollywood circle, and Mike, you being a musician, you know all about groupies, you know about them, certain groupies wanting to meet certain people in the band, and the roadies get their fun and they pass them up. You know how it goes.
I most certainly do.
Exactly. So now I connected the pieces even closer for you there. No different.
I'll tell you, not to get off the subject, but I got to tell you this. And back in, oh golly, when was it? 2005, I think. Mm-hmm. We played a show in Philadelphia, and a girl approached me, expressed interest. Young girl. I knew she was young, but I didn't think she was too young. And she said to me outright, she was 18. And then, after I talked to her on the phone, now mind you, I was in my, what was I? I think I was like 40. Call me a jerk if you want, but it was a legal age. She was 18. And I didn't do anything with her. I simply talked to her.
Well, even if you did, she is of legal age.
So she said. So I talked to her some more, and eventually, you know what she told me?
What's that?
She told me I'm not 18.
Uh-oh.
I said, oh really? Well, how old are you? She said, I'm 13.
Jesus Christ.
I said, wait a minute. I said,
Whoa.
this is gonna stop here. I said to her, I can't go into the conversation on what she said. It's really messed up. But I will tell you this.
Was she a runaway?
No. I believe, and I stand by this firmly, I sincerely believe she was trying to set me up.
How dare you?
Yeah, that's what I told her.
Wow.
And I talked to her because the girl was telling me, oh, I have such a crush on you. I'm like, look, you are way too young. I said, don't even think about it. And I said, do you have even any idea what would happen to me if I even took that step?
Whoa.
I said, no, I'm not stupid. I said, just call me when you're 21.
Yeah, you were gonna be on the next episode of To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen there, right?
But look, I'll be perfect. Some people might say, well, Mike, that even 18 is young for you. You know what? Be that as it may, she was still legal.
I wouldn't have a problem with you if you were going out with an 18-year-old, Mike.
Yeah, but I wasn't going out with her.
I would pat your back if that's what you were doing.
Only talking to her. I never did anything else but talk to her. And then when she told me in person that she was 13, I nearly crapped my pants.
Good God.
I said, holy crap, I am out of here, man.
I don't blame you, man. Wow. And
I never kissed her, nothing.
Good.
Nothing.
By the way,
Nothing.
Bex Rock, I think that's how you say this person's name in the chat. They're saying Jersey accent.
Who, me?
This girl, I guess, did she have a Jersey accent? I'm not sure if that's what he's wondering, but now that's what I'm wondering.
She was from Philly.
Okay, no accent there. Or did she have that accent?
I don't even think there is an accent in Philly. If there is, I didn't notice.
You didn't notice it, okay. Because you are obviously you are completely aware of the accent, right? That some women out there have, like in the New York region.
Oh yeah. People even tell me I have an accent.
Kind of, but not really. I think it's kind of gone away slightly. I mean, it certain things that you say, you could kind of hear it coming out of you there, Mike.
Yeah,
I
think that's my Italian background.
Yeah, you got that Andrew Dice Clay thing going on. A little bit there.
Little boy blue.
That's right.
He needed the money.
Hillary Dickory Dock.
Suck my suck my
Exactly. We won't say that here.
Old Lady Hubbard went to the cupboard.
Yeah, well,
she bent over. Rover took over.
Can you believe it? That guy was playing the garden at one time.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I remember him.
That is
remember
crazy.
His first appearance on Rodney Dangerfield's
Wow.
HBO show. In fact, him and Bob Goldthwait I saw their first shows on Rodney Dangerfield.
Love that. Rodney Dangerfield, another classic comedian there.
Oh, he was great.
Sarah Dillon says Mike totally has an accent.
Yeah, some people say it. I don't hear it, obviously.
Kind of, but not really. Not really. It's not the way like Chris Christie has one,
Or even like a person from Brooklyn or
right.
New York.
Yeah,
they got a real heavy.
They got that real accent there. That's right.
Yeah.
Even some people in Florida have that kind of a strange accent too. Some of the Cubans out there I've talked to.
Yeah, well, once you cross the border, like when you hit the southern part of America.
I mean, but they were still born here, and they still got that accent, kind of.
I think that comes from just growing up in the area that you're in.
Getting that slang there, yeah. Certain words, I think, are pronounced a little differently. I think it depends on the region,
It also depends on the neighborhoods you grow up in, and what their culture is, and what their ethnic culture is, and how they speak, and it all has to do. The dialect has to do with where you are brought up and who's around you.
There was this one television show that had this woman that had a very heavy accent. I'm forgetting her name though. And it was awful. I just kept thinking, imagine if this was like a wife or a girlfriend and you had to be next to her all the time.
Oh,
being in shelter in place with that.
You know who I say that about all the time? AOC. All
AOC,
out
you think she
crazy.
has a terrible accent there?
Yeah, all out crazy. I couldn't even begin to thinking what it would be like to be around her all the time. She just has this voice. It
Oh, the
crawls
voice
up my
kills you.
spine.
I see.
It crawls up my spine and sticks its talons into my neck.
It's not that bad, but I mean, it is not the most pleasant voice to hear either, that's for sure.
Drives me crazy.
So it's like nails to a chalkboard for you, Mike.
For me, yeah, she's just very annoying.
So when you hear that voice, it's like this. Like a car crash, right?
AO car crash, yes.
AO car crash, right. Love that. So Mike, I mean, we're almost out of time here.
Yes.
That went by a little too fast.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. But we do have a listener email here that I did want to get to before we wrap up.
Okay.
This is from Ian C, who says, and it starts with a quote, "It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it." Aristotle.
Right.
See, when a listener does that, that wins me over right away.
Absolutely. That was well chosen.
Indeed, he says, "Thank you, Michael, for having the intellect and patience to field the many viewpoints and positions that all of your guests promulgate."
Promulgate, huh?
Right.
Wow. I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know if I pronounced that right. But this man here is basically putting me over. But yes, opening with Aristotle here, yeah, won me over. Yeah, thank you for that.
Well said.
Yes, somebody was calling, and now it took my mind off completely what I was reading. Mike, you see what happens to me as soon as I'm reading something and people start calling in?
Ugh.
I can't
Yeah,
even.
You need
I
a
lose.
producer.
I lose complete focus as soon as I get a call here. Like, I can't read anything properly as soon as that phone goes off. My mind just goes away, Mike. I don't know what happened there.
You need a producer.
I think we can't afford a producer here, Mike.
No, get an intern. Go to a college, get an intern.
An intern, Mike?
Yeah, why not? I had one.
When did you have
used
an
to have-
intern?
When or why?
When?
I think it was in 2000, 2001, maybe? 1999, I can't remember, something like that. I had it for the band.
I see. Well, that I didn't know.
Yeah, she was from college and just needed to do some work, and I said, all right, I got some work you can do, and I had her like transferring phone numbers, sending out letters, emails, stuff like that. Nothing too fancy, but you could potentially go to a college and talk to one of the professors and say that you have a show and you need if anybody's looking for extra curriculum, they could get it by being an intern for you.
I see. Well, shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to drag an intern in here.
Why not? I mean, it only looks good on their resume. Then again, I got to be honest, that was 20 years ago. So,
20 years ago, right? Actually, I'm not sure if we could bring in someone here. We're gonna have to put him in a bubble.
What I'm trying to say is that 20 years ago, like, you couldn't have a podcast or a radio show back then. Now, you don't need anybody, really. You can do it yourself. So who knows? Maybe I'm completely an idiot by saying you can get an intern, because they probably say, what are you, stupid? We don't need no stinking internship.
By the way, the word was promulgate.
Promulgate. And what does that mean?
That basically means to promote or make widely known, like an idea or cause.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well said.
I forgot all about that. I thought, wait a minute. You know, ironically, I read this word about a week ago, and I thought, wait a minute, I can't believe I'm not pronouncing this correctly here.
I've never even heard it, to be perfectly honest.
Really?
What can I say?
I was reading some history thing, that's why, and they're talking about the Constitution. And they used the word, so that's why I'm like, wait a minute, I should know this word. But yeah, Ian, thank you for that, by the way, and I'm sorry for the missed call there. They were ringing, and as soon as I was gonna hit answer there, they hung up on me, Mike.
Oh well.
Oh well, we didn't need any callers anyways. We didn't need you. I kind of like it when it's just me and you without any callers too.
Yep.
It's always fun that way.
Sure.
We could always play things like this. As I played that sound drop, I opened another beer.
That's either the longest, like, big gulp being filled, or someone taking a leak in a bottle.
Maybe both. DFS Donovan says Hunter Biden will be pronounced dead before the debate tomorrow to get Sleepy Joe out of the fire.
Well said.
That's a very nice prediction there. I'm not quite sure how true that might be, but I call that wishful thinking.
Well done. I like that one. That was witty.
That was pretty good. And here we go with a phone call. Caller, you are live on the air. How can we help you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm okay. I'm just, reading things, getting words wrong, and drinking beer. How are you?
Good. I tried calling you before, but I don't know, the phone company disconnected us for some reason.
Yeah, there was people calling in, but again, I was trying to read something and failing badly.
All good. I just wanted to know what your guys' thoughts were on the whole COVID situation.
Where do you want to begin?
Well, I'm in Western Canada, and we haven't really been hit that bad. We had hospital rooms and whatnot set up for COVID, and I think during the peak of the epidemic, they only were operating at 9% capacity, meaning 89% were, or 91% were empty.
Yep.
And there's rumors they're going to have a second shutdown, so I'm not really understanding the reasoning behind that. Seems like the government's reaction is a little bit disproportionate to the threat.
So you are in Canada. And
he's on the west side where Sasquatch lives.
Yeah, so you're on the west side, okay.
Yes, Alberta.
Alberta, Canada. Beautiful out there.
Right beside Sasquatch.
So, in my mind, you grew up playing hockey.
I should have, but no, I'm not a very good skater, so I didn't play a whole bunch of hockey. But
so you became an IT guy.
Nonetheless, yeah.
I knew it.
Close.
I know a few Canadians out there, and they show me many photos of them going to like power lines and all this crazy stuff out there, out in the mountains. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm probably about an hour and a half from the mountains, but I don't know. It just seems like the government's response to this thing, for us anyways, I haven't been following U.S. as closely. I know you guys got hit harder than us, but
yeah,
it just seems like they're overreacting to the situation to me anyways. Like I said, our hospital capacity for COVID-specific beds only peaked at 9%. Now it seems like they're starting to panic again. Well, their initial reason for the shutdown was to not overwhelm the hospitals.
Right.
Well, we never got close to overwhelming our hospitals, so...
Same here, caller. Same here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now what I'm reading in terms of COVID-19 and cases out there, specifically Ontario, they're seeing some sort of a warning going on of the second wave.
They are, Ontario and Quebec, but they're like, 2,000 miles from where we're at.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're kind of far away from where you are, I bet.
Yeah,
I thought so.
They're way from us, but I don't know. I'm not much of a. I guess I am a conspiracy theorist, but I don't really believe in too many conspiracy theories. Maybe the Kennedy assassination would be about it, but the government reaction to this just seems, like I said,
You think it's a
disproportionate
you
to
think it's a
what's
bit
going on.
yeah, you think it's a bit over exaggerated.
Yeah, I do. I just wonder what your guys' thoughts on that was.
Well, I don't completely disagree with you. I think perhaps we did things we probably shouldn't have done, or we should have done. This thing was very new. Nobody was prepared for this sort of thing. We had prior knowledge of what was coming, but our government chose not to act soon enough. Kind of like 9/11, ironically. And ironically, I see DFS Donovan say 9/11 Building 7 all of a sudden. What a coincidence.
I disagree with you, Michael, only because this just wasn't an American thing. This was a world thing. And just about every country flipped out and shut down.
Sure, but we didn't take it seriously is what I'm saying. And many Americans still don't.
You don't think so? I think them shutting down the
I'm talking about the general public.
I think they
I'm saying
took
the people
it real
haven't.
serious.
I'm saying
people,
the normal citizen hasn't taken it too completely serious. I'm blaming the younger generations and the older generations right now. Those in Florida, those in Texas, and we're seeing all these states where it's popping up yet again because people got too relaxed, too coy with it.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm reading. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe that's not true. I don't know, but go ahead.
Can I
Jump
ask
in
the
there.
caller a question? Caller, can you hear me all right, caller?
Sure. Yeah, you betcha. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. How old are you?
46.
46. Relatively
Yep.
Healthy? No diabetes, cancer, or anything like that?
No illness I'm aware of.
Okay, so you're relatively healthy, right?
Yep, that's right.
So, in a nutshell, even if you did catch the virus, chances of you having a serious reaction to it, and by that I mean death, are probably very, very slim. The percentages are probably very low because people who are young, who are relatively healthy, such as yourself, who aren't, say, obese, have diabetes, suffering from cancer, or any sort of immune system affecting disease or illness, those are the people who are in trouble. Them and the elderly. Even though some people who
Yes.
are young, like yourself, and healthy have died, just as some children have died, that's how viruses work. Even with the flu, it happens every single year, and yet you don't hear about it like you did with this virus. So I would say, like you and Michael, I agree with what you're saying. Like Michael said, a lot of people sort of kind of got a little comfortable. As did I. I'll admit it 100%. I'm over it. I'm over the whole thing. I'm just done. But I don't think you have too much to worry about. You sound like you'll be all right, even if you were to catch it.
Yeah, I'm not like I think it's real and I don't want to get it, don't get me wrong, but I just think the government's reaction is a little bit
Have some
overboard.
common sense is all I'm going to tell you, caller.
Yes.
You make
right.
up your
Yes,
own mind.
absolutely.
Don't listen to me or Mike or anyone else. Just remember the virus damages your lungs and heart and brain. And that's what the science says. So keep that in mind. Sure, you'll survive. There's a high survival rate, but have common sense. This is not something you want to catch and later on have it fuck you later on. Very much like the 9/11 first responders and all of the things they sucked in on that morning of September 11th. And that morning, that beautiful Super Tuesday extravaganza where the world completely changed. And here we are.
Yes, I certainly don't want long-term organ damage. Don't get me wrong.
No,
but I think if
trust
you take
me.
the proper precautions, life goes on. I don't know what else to say, really.
Exactly. I'm with you on that.
People have families to feed.
That's right.
Like in my town, I live in a small town of 100,000, like oil field town, and there's really nothing going on in the oil field now. There's like hotel vacancies are at between 10 and 20%. It's predicted about 60% of the restaurants are going to close. It's bad.
That's right. And this is a man-made
Terrible.
virus, like Donovan just said in the chat room. And that's what I'm trying to tell all of you out there. This is not like the quote-unquote flu. They wouldn't shut down the entire world because of a quote-unquote flu.
Yeah.
So it's much more severe. They just don't tell you that.
It is, but
The people that you like and respect and admire don't tell you those things. So that's why most of you out there listening to this are inclined to believe that. Which is fine. I'm just some fucking guy on the internet talking to you on some YouTube channel. So sure, you hear me and you think, fuck him. What does he know? But no one's fucking playing games here. So, you know, you do whatever you
I
want
think
to
you know
do.
as much as anybody else does.
That's right. So you live your life the way you want to. You think and do whatever you want. And that's what people are going to do anyways at the end of the day. So, caller, you are a smart guy. You know what to do.
You're a fart
One
smeller.
other thing I
a
was gonna
smart
take-
feller.
A smart feller. That's right.
One other thing I was going to say quickly was I don't know if you guys know how what should I say how deep Trump derangement syndrome is in Canada, which I don't really understand why, because he's not our president, but people here are more concerned about him than our own
Wow.
corrupt government. We
That's
have the
insane.
most corrupt government. It is. We have a prime minister that's probably going to be guilty of his third ethics violation here, and nobody talks about that.
No one gives
They're
a
more
shit.
interested in talking about. No, it's crazy.
Yeah, you Canadians are you guys are focused on the elections. Wow.
We are, yeah. Like I said, we literally
Wow.
have the most corrupt government in my lifetime, and no one seems to be concerned about it at all.
You see, Mike, that's the problem. You see what he's saying right
Yeah.
there? That's the problem.
Yep.
Fucking crazy.
I don't know if you heard anything about it, but the prime minister here tried to give away $1 billion basically to a charity to give to students that were affected by COVID because they couldn't find summer jobs. Found out about 3 weeks later that this same charity paid his mom $500,000 for speaking engagements, despite the fact that they don't pay any other celebrities for speaking engagements.
Wild.
But no one seems to be concerned about that.
We live in a
It's
funny
crazy.
world, caller.
We do.
Funny world.
You do.
It's a
Lot of
circus.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, me and Mike agree with you.
Anyways, I really appreciate the program. I enjoy listening to it. I just became a Patreon member there about a couple months ago, and
Nice. Have you been
Really enjoy
enjoying? Yeah, I was gonna say, have you been enjoying the Patreon?
honestly, I haven't listened to any yet. I plan on this weekend. Here.
Oh, how dare you!
Yeah.
Well, at least you signed up, though.
Well, I wanted to save some up. Yeah, I wanted to support. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I
But I'm
appreciate
gonna
that.
listen to some this weekend for sure.
There's lots of entertainment there for you. I promise.
Yeah, I see that. I'm looking forward to it.
It's good.
Well, you Jets have a good evening. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling in, and stay safe
Thank you,
out
sir.
there in Canada,
You betcha.
the Great
We love you up
North.
here.
Watch out
You
for
bet.
Bigfoot.
Have
Oh yeah,
I will.
caller. Before you leave,
Have-
do you believe in Bigfoot?
No, not really. I don't think so. No.
He
Not a
barely
fan.
believes in politics. You think he's going to believe in Bigfoot?
I know, right? The man doesn't even like hockey, and he's in Canada.
Well, I don't mind hockey, but I'm just not much. Like I said, I'm not much of a skater. I'm not good at it. I don't mind watching it once in a while, but
They don't not hate it.
He's on the fence. He's on the fence.
yes, our CFL got canceled this year because of COVID, so I can't watch that.
The what? Sorry.
Canadian Football League.
Oh, the Canadian Football
Canadian
League.
Football League.
Okay, so you're a football
yeah, they
fan.
canceled their season this year.
Nice.
A little bit, not too much, but I watch CFL before I watch NFL.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And rightfully
Even
so.
though the
At
players aren't
this
as good.
point, they're all a bunch of BLM supporters.
No, it might have went this way here. I guess we'll never know because they canceled the season. So
Oh. Yeah,
pretty
you-
much 80% of the players are from the U.S. anyways up here.
I was going to say, yeah, you guys got a lot of imports from our country out there.
Pretty much they would all be
Word.
if they didn't have the Canadian rule. Yeah,
That's okay. We stole William Shatner.
That's true.
there you go.
You know, a lot of people make fun of you guys out there in Canada. They say you guys don't have any real, like, sports figures or, you know, like heroes.
They had Second City Television.
They say Bret Hart is like a national hero out there in Canada.
Well, it's funny. Bret Hart actually grew up I'm originally from Calgary. He grew up in my hometown. So
Oh shit! So you
I'm a
know
big
all
fan of the
about
Hitman.
nice.
Yeah.
So you know about Bret. You know about the father Stu Hart, the legendary dungeon out there.
Yeah, Owen was actually my favorite wrestler growing up. I used to go to Stampede Wrestling when I was a kid. I don't know if you heard of
Shit!
Stampede or not.
Of
but-
course I have.
Yeah, really?
Yes.
Yeah, I used to go down to the pavilion when I was,
Wow.
I don't know, 14, 15 with my friends on Friday night. It was good fun.
Wow. Now that is pretty badass. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. It was
Love
good
that.
entertainment.
So caller, you're gonna have to call in again later.
Yeah, you betcha. So you guys have a good evening. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. We'll talk
Take
soon.
care.
Take care, my
Thanks,
friend.
man. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye. Ooh, even the bird said goodbye to him. You heard that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, the bird got into that one.
He's been chatty all night.
I love that. So, Mike, my God, it's almost that time to shut it down here.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe it went by that fast.
Yep.
That's what she said. I can't believe it went by that fast. Sounds like my ex-girlfriend. It went by that fast. It sure did.
You're done already?
Yeah, you're done? You're inside? What happened?
I was just getting started.
Mike, once again, thank you so much for being a part of the program. So much going on around the world. We have two political giants, as I mentioned early on in the program, going head to head in what will be considered must-see television tomorrow night. We have Mr. Joe Biden facing off against Donald J. Trump. This is going to be good, Mike.
I am not going to miss this for the
Amazing.
world.
I know, right? It's going to be a good one. I was even considering doing a show with you tomorrow, but my God, I just want to sit down, drink a beer, and watch these two old men go at it.
Well, I'm free Wednesday.
Yeah, we might.
You want to do like a recap?
We might have to.
I'll take notes.
We probably might have to. We'll find out. I'll let you know, Mike. But once again, thank you so much for being a part of the program, Mike. Go ahead and plug away.
Thank you, Michael. As always, my extreme joy to be on the show, to be co-host for Michael and the Michael Decon program. So always have a great time. Great show tonight. Much thanks to the callers and the listeners this evening. Thank you very much. If you're interested at all in any of my artwork, you can see my paintings, my drawings, my photographs, my T-shirts, so on and so forth, at horribleartwork.com, and that also includes paintings that are for sale. So if you'd like to check that out, and if you'd like to check out some of my music that I have done over the years, you can find me at MikeHideous.com, and that's MYKE hideous.com. You can see I got like 30 new different items out there that are for sale.
Been busy.
Yeah, I got T-shirts, I got bathing suits, throw pillows, blankets, towels, long sleeve shirts, girl shirts, hats, backpacks, jackets, you name it. And last but not least, if you're interested in contacting me on Facebook, you can reach me at facebook.com/hideousmike, MYKE. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Michael. Great show tonight. And that's everything, buddy.
Very nice. Talk to you soon.
All right, man. Good night, everyone.
Good night. And there he goes, boys and girls. That was Mr. Mike Hideous. And the bird said goodnight to all of you out there. No doubt. And yes, looking at the clock, almost 2 hours here. Time really did fly by tonight, and I thank all of you out there for hanging out. That was fun. Tomorrow will also be pretty fun. I hope you are watching the fireworks. Hopefully something good comes out of it and we aren't left bored. But I think that won't be the case tomorrow. We will find out. And of course, international listeners out there, thank you so much for your support as well. I know you're out there. I get those emails. And I appreciate it. I wish I could have completed the email from Ian tonight. He wrote more. But my God, we had to wrap it up here tonight. And of course, you can find the podcast rendition of this program on iTunes, Google Play, CastBox, and Stitcher. And even Spotify. But for how long, I don't know. Interesting night yet again. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. That was quite fascinating, as it always is. Now, once again, take care of yourselves out there. Lots of wild shit to come, I'm afraid. So keep your friends and yourselves quite safe. And with that said, I'm Michael Decon, and the world is a mysterious place, and life itself is a mystery. Until next time, good night, everybody.